A local customer recently reached out and his boat hit a mailbox. And we've only got a couple days to work it in to get him brand new pontoons and back on the water. Let's see if we can get it done. And it'll be done in the new shop. Where are we? We're in a new shop, and our first project is a doozy. Some folks swap their pontoons out, the old smaller diameter, for nice big, new, shiny, large diameter, larger capacity pontoons, but in this case, he hit a mailbox. Stay tuned, get it, tuned, because later in the video, we're gonna break down some of the key noteworthy items about a project like this, including the cost. Hello, sunshine. Hello, new pontoons. Let's get started. I just had this thought. I think I'll put the trailer back underneath before I loosen any more bolts. Bet you guys didn't know we had another dog too. I know. This is Maggie, Banks' best friend. Oh no, here comes Banks. Oh man. Yeah, lots of changes happening around here. Got the trailer cranked back up. I think we're gonna be a lot safer now, so I'm just gonna finish loosening those last few on the outside and then pick it the rest of the way up, just enough to get this pontoon, this one, out of there. I already see a little bit of spaces between the cross member and the pontoon, at least up in the front. So what I'm gonna do is crank it up, hope for the best, and then pull that pontoon out. Here we go. Check this out. Sweet. What do you think, Maggie? Huh? What do you think? She's excited too. Still have the other side blocked. It's not going anywhere, but we did that just to be sure. Definitely do it. If that had a bunch of water in it, it'd be really heavy. Yeah, it could pull the boat over. I had a feeling boat's heavy enough, it's not going anywhere, but play it safe. Safety third always. We've been sourcing our pontoons for years now from Paul Keebler down near Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'll put his information in the description below in this video. You can reach out to him if you need to shop for a center pontoon or outer pontoons. Center pontoons with transoms are getting harder to come by, but he still has hundreds of other pontoons available. If you've got a unique project like this or hauling anything, you gotta check out tolos.com. You can rent a trailer from someone in your community, get your project done. Check out tolos.com. We've done enough of these to know it's worth having a template. This is just a little piece of flat stock aluminum. 13 3/4 is what these pontoons that we're going to be installing are on center for the hardware. This inside hole and this outside hole is where our pontoon used to line up, but that's only around 11 inches on center. So what I can do is line this up, centered with my inside hole, and then I'll punch my outside hole. It's gonna give the pontoons a little more flare out, but what I gotta be careful of is not pushing it in and then making it to where a normal center lift trailer won't fit underneath there because we are going to a bigger diameter pontoon. So I would rather push it out. It's an 8-foot wide boat. I don't have to worry about being too wide for road legal. It's gonna end up around here. That's where I want it. I'm gonna go through, mark all my holes. Here comes the not so sexy, not so exciting part. I gotta drill a whole bunch of pilot holes, 1/4 inch, and then make them bigger, up to a 1/2 inch. You could go for 3/8 inch, that's what our hardware is, but it makes it really hard to line them all up. So 1/2 inch, a little bit of space around, not gonna hurt anything once you get them all tightened down. Now fun. Let's look at what those new pontoons look like so you have an idea and so that we can make sure we're getting everything fit up properly. So out with the old, in with the new.
How do you like his mustache? It's new.
New shop, new face, all that. Here's what we love about these pontoons, is this is a track system. So this is a carriage bolt, 3/8 inch. This is gonna slide and adjust wherever you need it to go on this track, but then also, that's what my template's for, is this track back here. So we'll put bolts in, however many we need to catch the cross members. They can adjust and move to line up with the cross members on your boat. Makes it really easy for a center pontoon installation, but even in this case, it's pretty straightforward. So I need to make sure I measure and account for how many cross members this front section is gonna catch. There's gonna be some pontoons sticking out in front. These old pontoons did stick out quite a bit. So take some measurements, get things ready to fit up. After you've blown all that hot metal off of your sweaty skin on a July day when you're doing this, gotta do what you gotta do. We're ready to put these carriage bolts in. Again, these are 3/8 inch stainless. These are 1.5 inches long. Most of the time, 1.25 inches is gonna be your best friend, but this is what we could source on the spot locally, have to order the 1.25 inches. I'm gonna go through, make note of where all my cross members are, then I'm gonna insert that many carriage bolts into my track on the pontoon, just like this. We pulled the other side blocks. Now that we know the boat's balance is not going anywhere, you could strap it to the trailer too to be extra careful. Our next step is lowering the trailer, or you could lift the pontoon up. We're gonna lower the trailer back, get everything lined up and ready to run through those holes and get a washer and a nut on. I made a mark on the pontoon where we want that to line up with the front cross member. That's what I'm lining up right now as Corey lets it down.
And with the trailer blocking the inside of the pontoon, it's a good idea to have a piece of flat stock or angle aluminum to adjust those inner carriage bolts.
We're gonna work the floor jack up from the back. I've got these two back ones started, and as I lift this, Corey's gonna feed the rest of them in, and we'll just eke them in one at a time. So we had a piece of angle aluminum and a wrench. You're just kind of tapping the base of those bolts where they're in the track of the pontoon and just getting the angle just right. We're able to fish them in, get them in all the holes. Now the back is touching, so we're gonna go ahead, get some nuts on the back, get them tight. Use some grease or anti-seize. This is not one you wanna seize up, these stainless nuts on these stainless carriage bolts. Then we'll bring the floor jack up to the front, lift the front up, get everything tight, and then let's go ahead and get them all tightened in. Once we get the outsides tight, then we can actually just lower everything down, pull the trailer out of here, then we can work the inside. Safety third, we're gonna tighten the outside first.
Are you done with that one?
I made my shoulders tired.
That one took forever. Now that we know that
Now that we have most of the outsides done, I'm sitting there just fighting these ones where I'm getting 1/8 of a turn every time. We're gonna get the trailer out from underneath. Corey's gonna go on the inside. It's gonna be a lot more accessible. She's gonna tighten those nuts down. We haven't even put those on yet, have we?
Nope.
She can get those started and then start tightening them while I do the outside. We'll bring the trailer back in. After we loosen the inside of the other pontoon, drop that, probably call it a day at that point. Finish this up in the morning. Back to it for day 2, getting the shop opened up. Let's get this finished up. Back on the water today. It's Saturday. I bet they want to go boating. I'm gonna approach the starboard side same way I did with the port side. Get everything templated out, pre-drilled, get our hardware set, everything close as we can in place. Lift it up, wash the wiring, and then send it on home. Don't forget, when you're working on the side, well, both sides might have some wiring, but your starboard is gonna be the most wired side. Come up with a plan to get your wires back where they go. This one actually had a wire routed under a cross member, so where the trailer could pinch it. don't do that. If you're routing wires, run them the long way, get them there correctly. So we're gonna fix that while we're at it. But now I gotta get these lifted up on top of the pontoon to ride in between the extruded tracks so everything's clean where it needs to go. Don't forget you're gonna have to do that on at least one side, if not both. Yes, River's still here too. Look at these maniacs. Doing the side a little bit differently. The first side we went on, we had a point where we wanted the pontoon to land, and then that gave us a point of reference for lining this pontoon up. What I did here is I got my back 2 bolts in, and I got the back supported. The rest of the front of the pontoon is down, and now I'm gonna go ahead, use the floor jack to lift the nose up, and we'll just work our hardware into the holes. So we'll go up a little, just a teeny bit, get the hardware in the holes, up a teeny bit, move to the next cross member, get the bolts in, up a teeny bit, and so on until everything is lined up. Then we go through and put our nuts and washers on. We're gonna get a couple bolts tightened up front here. Then we'll get carts under, lower everything down, pull the trailer out, tighten it all up, and then hit the lake. Hi, Banks. Oh, good.
Come on,
okay.
thanks.
Good, thanks. You're so helpful. Okay.
Dad,
what's it smell like?
Dad, I can fold that up there.
What's taking you so long? So you're gonna find when you're doing this, at least on this side, Banks, don't eat the aluminum. You're gonna find these are really tight spaces, especially if you're working with deck trim still on. If I could take this off without pulling the railings, I would have. But once I get my washer and my nut started, got it, first try. That doesn't always happen. So if you look up in there, I don't know if you can see it, but it is snug.
Super snuggy.
And I got another bolt right above it. This wrench right here, normally I would use like this side down. Well, we call this a ratcheting dog bone here at Tom's Toons. I can select which direction. I picked these up individually at Lowe's or Home Depot. If you're doing this project, it's probably worth your while to pick up a 9/16 one of these for 3/8 inch hardware. I'm gonna put it in reverse, and then I'm gonna flip it so this side's down, and what that allows me to do is get into this funky angle but still make progress on the nut and bolt. Just something I thought was worth sharing.
Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome. Noteworthy item number 1, who is this for, this type of project? This boat obviously had damage, so one of the pontoons had to either be fixed or replaced. I would call that one beyond repair, so perfect candidate. But maybe you've got an older boat and you just want to rejuvenate with more buoyancy, more stability, or you've got a leak that you just can't find. Those are good candidates as well. One huge thing, if you're working, even if it's not these types of pontoons with this track system, is build yourself a template. Get prepared, make it easier on yourself so that once you get the pontoons off, you've got a template ready to line up, measure in, drill holes, and go. It's gonna save you a ton of time and headache. So how much does it cost? It's a loaded question. If you're doing this yourself, you can pick up a pair of pontoons, maybe for $500 to $1,000. If they're ones like this that are new, factory blemished pontoons, you're probably gonna spend more like $3,000 or $4,000. If you pay somebody like me, pontoon restoration or a marina, to do the work, you're probably more like $6,000 to $7,000 installed, ready to go. Still a way better price conscious option than getting talked into buying a new boat like they were trying to do to this customer. Now you know. We're back in the trailer underneath this, strapping it down and getting it out on the water right on time for a sunny Saturday. Thank you for watching. Make sure you go subscribe, comment below. Is this something you do on your old pontoon? Let us know, leave us a comment.